cover back off, rolling coal on him. Oh, that was freaking great. This dude's been riding my ass the whole way. Give him another dose. Yes! That makes them back up real quick, doesn't it? They don't like that coming through their AC vents. In this video, I'm gonna talk about why I love second gen Cummins the most. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video on Pure Panorama. We are growing the channel. It's been a little slow the last week or two or whatever, but there's still people coming through. There's still views coming to the videos, and I see the subscriber count going up slowly. It's not going as fast as it was a few weeks back, but we're still growing nonetheless, so we got to keep hitting that like button. We got to keep sharing. But anyways, let's talk about why I love the second gen Cummins, why it's my favorite, basically, why I love these body styles. So the second gen body style was out from 1994 to 2002, and I gotta say that Dodge, they did it right, man, because they were the first to do something different with this body style of a truck. Chevy and Ford back then were still putting out square body styles. Dodge was the first to do something different as far as kind of rounding the look of the truck in the front ends and stuff and making them look a little bit more aggressive. Whereas Chevy and Ford still had that square body style. Now, don't get me wrong, I love the OBS Power Strokes and the OBS Ford in general. My dad had an OBS body style. It was only an F-150, but he still had an older Ford, and I've just loved them ever since I was a little kid. So I do love those old square body styles a lot, but the fact that Dodge stepped out of the comfort zone and did something completely different to give a more aggressive look to their truck rolling down the road is just cool, man. So they were the first to do something different, and I love that. But also in these second gens from 94 to 98, you have the old 12 valve engine, and from 98 and a half to 2002, you got the old 24 valve, which is what you see sitting here behind me. I have a 2001 24 valve Cummins, and we're gonna go over a little bit about both of them. So the 12 valve, obviously, you had the lovable P7100 P-Pump for the injection pump. Now, everybody loves the P-Pump because it's just fully mechanical. You can do a lot of stuff to get free horsepower. You can turn your pump up, down, whatever. You can tune your AFC housing. You can change out fuel plates and stuff like that, and it's basically all free horsepower. You may have to buy a fuel plate and stuff, but mostly it doesn't cost you anything to gain more fuel and get more power out of those trucks. Whereas the 24 valve, they switched the injection pump over and started using the VP44 injection pump. Now, that's the one that you hear about the most and being the most problematic. It's the problem child because they started to add electronics into it, whereas it's not fully mechanical. And the two things that fail on the VP44 are, the two main things is there's a little rotor in there that will seize up, or it's the computer, the electronic portion of it, that overheats and goes bad. So if we pop the hood on my truck and take a look down in here, you can see the VP44 is right here. You can see my fuel pressure gauge right there coming off. There's the snubber valve. There's the actual sensor for the gauge. And if you look up here on the top of the pump right here where this sticker is, now this pump has been changed once before on the truck, and we do have to change it again. And the reason we have to change it again is due to this little spot right here where this sticker is. That is the computer and the electronics portion of the VP44. So what happens is these computers right here on the injection pump, they get warm because the injection pump is mounted into the timing cover on the front of the engine there, and it sits right alongside the engine, and the pumps get warm due to the heat underneath the hood and not being lubricated enough to cool them off. So the computer will start to overheat and basically start to malfunction, and there's no saying how long it can handle that and take that abuse before it craps out and doesn't work anymore. My computer has been overheating now for a little while, and my truck still starts up and runs strong except for on warm days. All winter long my truck would fire up just fine because the air temperature was cool outside, so it would give that time to cool off quickly, so the next time I go to start my truck it would fire up no issues. But now that the temperatures are getting warm, that computer heats up and it starts to kind of glitch out basically and not function properly. So when I go to start the truck again, say if I run into a store and come back out, the truck cranks over a little bit longer than it would have to usually if the computer was doing its job properly. So that's what happens with the computers crapping out. They start to overheat, they basically start to glitch and malfunction, and they'll do that for a little while until one day they won't, and they'll just crap the bed completely and your truck just won't start at all. Now the other thing with the VP44 is there is a little rotor in there, and that will seize up. The VP44 is designed to get lubricated and stay cool from fuel supply, and unfortunately the stock lift pumps on these trucks didn't cut it. They didn't do it. That's why you need an aftermarket lift pump. Whereas the P-Pump on the 12 valve doesn't have that issue because there's no electronics on it and stuff. That is basically like a bulletproof injection pump, which is why people P-pump their 24 valves. But with that, that's a topic for another video because there's so many angles to go with it, and I don't want to drag this video out and make it long. So we're actually just gonna move on to the next part of why I love these second gen body styles. So in the 94s to 98s, there is a couple of transmission options, 3 to be exact. From 94 to 95, there was a 47RH automatic, which is it's a hydraulic transmission. In 96 to 98, you get the 47RE, which is what I have in my truck. Now those are the ones that in my truck, obviously you hear all the bad stuff about because they're not able to handle the torque that these trucks put out. There's also an NV4500 from 94 all the way up to 2002, and those are the 5-speed manuals. Now in 2001 to 2002, they offered a high output version of the 24 valve, which comes with a 6-speed manual, and that transmission is the NV5600. So there's just a few different options for transmissions for these trucks, and I feel like that's awesome. So the second gen Cummins, you have 2 different engine options between the 12 valve and the 24 valve, and depending on what you want or need the truck for, I feel like there's an avenue for anybody to go down and be satisfied with, and a truck to suit their needs between those 2 engines and all the transmission options out there. Now obviously you have different body style configurations as well. You have long beds and short beds, you have regular cabs, you have extended cabs. In 94 to 98, the extended cabs do not have rear doors that open. You only get that option in some 98.5s, but mainly 99 to 2002. Like I said, you can basically get a body style configuration for whatever you need to suit your needs for what you need the truck for. You can basically go ahead and match that up with whatever transmission, whether it be the hydraulic 47RH if you get one of the early 12 valve second gens, or the 47RE automatic, or you can get the 5-speed, or if you get a 01 or 02, you can go and look for that 6-speed NV5600. So I think the second gen is great, and I love it because, like I said, they were the first to do something different as far as the body style, and you can't tell me that the body style of these second gens doesn't look aggressive, because it does. But then you factor in there the different body configurations as far as regular cab, extended cab, long bed, short bed, all that stuff with the different transmission options, the different engines, and depending on, like I said, what you want or need the truck for, it would be which one you choose, obviously, or whether you go with a 24 valve or a 12 valve. A 12 valve does not have one big valve cover like this one does. It would have individual ones placed all down through there, and your P7100 injection pump would be nice and big right through here, and you'd see all your fuel lines coming up off of it. So I don't know, man. I just think that it's really hard to not love these second gen body styles. If you can find a good one that's in good solid condition with a good solid frame, body panels can have rust and stuff. That stuff is all fixable and can be repaired. But if you can find one that isn't totally rotted out with rust, that has little bits that maybe need some work or whatever, but has a good solid foundation, a good solid frame underneath it, whether it be a 12 valve or a 24 valve, they're both great starter trucks for somebody looking to get into the diesel truck community. They're so user friendly and so easy to learn on. There isn't a ton of stuff crammed underneath the hood in the engine bay, so you can basically access everything. You can see what's what and decipher between different parts, and you can just learn very easily on these trucks to get your feet wet in the diesel life. Whereas if you were to get like a Power Stroke or a Duramax, there's going to be a lot more components underneath the hood, and things are going to be more crammed in there and harder to access stuff. But the ease of learning on the Cummins trucks can go with the 3rd gens as well and stuff. As you get into the newer ones, yes, they start to pack stuff in there a little bit tighter and it can become a little bit harder to learn. They add more things into it due to emissions and things like that with the states and the laws and everything. But with these old trucks, if you are looking to get your first diesel truck, you cannot go wrong by getting a 2nd gen body style, whether it be a 12 valve or a 24 valve. They're just great trucks to learn on, and you can do a lot of the work and repairs on it yourself. Because we all know that diesel does come with a price, as in it comes with a price with higher fuel costs, and it can be more expensive to repair and stuff. But with these trucks, the parts and everything, even performance parts and mods, they're not as expensive as other trucks are. So that's another reason I love them. The 12 valve parts and performance mods and stuff like that are going to be a little bit cheaper, and depending on how far you're willing to take it and planning on going with the truck, obviously you can spend a little bit of dough on that, but for the most part you're not going to be spending nearly as much as you would on another truck like a Ford or a Chevy, or even some of the newer Cummins trucks like the Common Rails and stuff like that. So the parts are just, they're unbeatable. You can't go wrong. They're good for modding because they're cheap. They're good for learning on because everything is just so basic and user friendly, easy to see, get to, figure out what's what, and you just can't go wrong, guys. One more quick thing between the 12 valve and the 24 valve as far as the injection pumps go. With the VP44 injection pump, you do have the option, because there is like a variable timing with the fueling and stuff like that. It is a lot more accurate and it has more street manners, I guess I would say, than this P7100 when you start to modify it and look to gain power and stuff out of it. But due to the fact that there's now electronics implemented into the injection pump with the VP44, whereas the P7100 fully mechanical injection pump didn't have that, you had to gain your power by, like I said, adjusting things and turning the pump up or down and all that stuff, changing your fuel plates. With the VP44, you are able to put a tuner on it or a fueling box, and you basically have push button tuning at your disposal while you're driving, so you can change your power levels on the fly while going down the road. You can't do that with the P7100. Once you make an adjustment with the old P-Pump, that is what you got until you pull the truck off the road and get it to home, get it to the shop or whatever, and you make another adjustment. The VP44 is good for that, but it is bad for other reasons, and like I said, the injection pump stuff can just go on and on and on, and there's so many angles and arguments with each of them of why one is better than the other, and there's just a ton of different things about these injection pumps, and it could be a whole video topic in and of itself. So that is why I love 2nd gen Dodges. Just a few reasons I thought I would share that with you guys and kind of just touch base on some stuff with these trucks. I hope you enjoyed that. So that's it from me. I just wanted to share some reasons why I love these 2nd gen body styles and go over some stuff between the 12 valves and the 24 valves. There's tons of stuff to cover between the two trucks, and like I said, the injection pump stuff could be a whole video in and of itself, as far as why one is good, one is bad, one's better than the other, blah blah blah, why certain ones are better for certain things depending on what you want to do with the truck. But I just wanted to share some of the reasons why I love the 2nd gens. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you liked what you heard from me and why I love these 2nd gen Cummins trucks. If you did, leave a like on the video before you leave. Liking the videos really helps with search results and getting the videos recommended to new people, hopefully to gain us more subscribers here on Pure Panorama. If you're new to the channel, just stopping in for the first time, hit that subscribe button, because we got a lot going on with my 2001 24 valve Cummins that you will not want to miss. We're going to be doing a lot of work to it over the summer, and we're looking to build a good community of truck enthusiasts here on Pure Panorama. So hit that subscribe button before you leave as well. Leave your likes, share these videos with your friends, and guys, I'll see you in the next video. Peace. I just wanna